Now, when Kathy returned from Topeka and her success at Nationals, she immediately checked into UVA Hospital where she had reconstructive ankle surgery. And I mention this because it's very important to note that Kathy had competed with pain for a very long time. And a lesser gymnast would easily have set out, missed practices, not been able to compete. But Kathy was more than a champion athlete. She was a team player. She returned for all 3 years, helping her team significantly, and she qualified each of those remaining 3 years for national championships once again. Now, along the way, Kathy became interested in athletic training, and so she became a student trainer. And in true buy one, get two fashion, Kathy was often assigned to be the trainer for her own gymnastics team during her own competitions. Not an easy thing to do. But Kathy was very popular as a trainer because the other gymnasts knew that she understood them. After all, she was a competing gymnast. Kathy was also instrumental in helping me to found a gymnastics program for area youth. And we taught classes on Saturday mornings, and we taught camp during the summers. And many of the children who took those classes come from names that you would easily recognize. The children of, for example, Brenda Atkins, Lucy Zahner, Eva Philbeck, Mike Lund, Cam and Wade Tennell, Josiah Bunning, an ex-president of Hampton Sydney, just to name a few. And Kathy was my lead teacher for that program. And she forged some very strong bonds with a lot of the youth. And 2 of them are here tonight to honor her because she had such a strong impact on them. And so I'd just like to point them out, Sheila and Cheryl Feynman. Kathy also taught gymnastics at Racket Lake Gymnastics Camp in New York, where I was the gymnastics director, and was just as popular with the girls there as with our Longwood area students. When Kathy graduated from Longwood with a BA in Spanish, imagine that, she went off and got a master's degree in education in athletic training, She directed a gymnastics school in North Carolina, and she was offered a coaching job with internationally famous coach Bella Caroli. But she decided to take another route, and she became a flight attendant for Piedmont in the U.S. Air. And she flew until injuries forced her to be grounded. And nowadays, Kathy devotes a lot of her time to swimming since her 2 children are competitive swimmers. And it's kind of interesting that Kathy was telling me last night that Lexi, her daughter, did gymnastics for a while, and that one day Kathy said, "Honey, you're not going to be able to do gymnastics anymore. It's just too dangerous." And so her kid was pulled out of gymnastics and forced into swimming, which she's doing very well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kathryn Idelson Noftzger never competed professionally in gymnastics because at that time there was no professional gymnastics. Kathryn Idelson Noftzger never earned millions of dollars in her chosen sport because the scholarships were small at Longwood, and when she left, the money was even smaller unless one was an Olympic gymnast and could be a commentator. But Kathryn Idelson Noftzger's record as a gymnast, as a student, as a trainer, as a teacher, as a recruiter, and here a very special word, because the gymnasts who came in after Kathy were recruited as much by Kathy and her parents as by myself. Because once Kathy became an All-American gymnast, Longwood was on the map for gymnastics, and that made a huge difference. All of this that I've just mentioned seems to me to fit explicitly with Longwood's modern definition of citizen leader. And so it is with a great deal of pride that I present this long overdue award to my ex-gymnast, to my continued friend, and to the very first All-American athlete in any sport at Longwood, and this is no fairy tale.